Okay, today I'm going to show you how to make your own graphite transfer paper. Um, I like to make my own because it is very affordable, and actually it works better, I think, than the graphite paper that you buy. There is no wax on this. So what I do is I just take a piece of tracing paper. This is a good quality tracing paper. And I don't want to do a whole sheet of this because graphite is so messy. So I'll take a half of the sheet. Then I'll fold that in half. And then I'm going to use a regular school pencil, just a regular number 2 HB pencil. And I'm going to work the graphite in on just one side. I'm leaving this side without having graphite because I'll fold it over, and that will keep the graphite from getting on other things. And I have graphite papers like this that I have used for years. So again, it's very economical, and to me it is much better than the graphite paper you purchase. So I'm just putting down some heavy graphite, sort of going in both directions. I'm not going to go all the way to the edge because I want to be able to put my fingers on this so that I can hold it flat, and I don't want to get graphite on my fingers. And so this just takes a couple of minutes to do. And you don't have to be too worried about making it very, very even at this stage. So you might have to resharpen your pencil as you do this because you're putting a lot of the graphite onto the paper. So I'm not too worried about making it very, very even. But I am putting a substantial amount of graphite on the page. Now this is the trick. This is an alcohol prep pad, and it just has rubbing alcohol on it. And I get these at the Walgreens store. You can get them at any drugstore. People use these pads if they're giving themselves insulin shots or other kinds of shots. So it's just this little pad with alcohol on it. And I'm going to take this and rub just in a circular motion to try to even out the graphite that I put down. And this is wet, or moist, I'd say. And so it's smearing the graphite around, but it's also making it really sink into the fibers of the tracing paper. And so it will not be so smeary. If you did not do this stage and you used it as a transfer sheet, you would have a mess. And you can see I've taken off quite a bit. Now we have to let that dry. And as it dries, the paper may curl up and buckle on you, but not to worry, it will flatten out as it dries. Here's a piece of graphite paper that I've used for probably 3 or 4 years. And so once the graphite is set, I fold this over, and it's dry. I fold this over, and then I can put that in my portfolio. I can carry it around. I can put it on my tray here to keep it from getting dusty, and then bring it out and use it. Now, how do you use it? So here is my drawing of the plums. And I'm going to take my graphite and I'm going to put it face down. And I can just go around with a harder pencil. This is a 2H pencil. And I'm applying some pressure. I have my watercolor paper underneath. And I just press on that. And after you've done a little of that, you check and you see, well, how is the impression going through? And this one definitely is, and it's definitely a little darker than I would want. So I would go back and finish that, reposition and finish it, but not applying as much pressure. So lighten up on my line slightly. And let's check it again, and that's much lighter. You can see I can still see it, but it's not so dark that it's that it's going to incise the paper. Now, I like to have this small sheet also, so when I'm doing this, I'm not resting my hand on the graphite paper. That's another reason why to have a smaller piece. So you put it down and then I rest my hand where there isn't the graphite paper and I draw, and then I move this around as I need it to position it for larger drawings. So that's a tip on making homemade graphite paper to use with watercolors.